Hello everyone, this is Mr. 13 Things, and I'll try to keep this short. This is a kind of general demonstration of how one can, at least running on your own machine, make your own, what would be called a challenge, more or less a compilation of different Khan Academy exercises. This will not be running off the Khan site, and in reality, if you can run this off your server, that would be the best, but you could very easily have it done on USB drives, even to the point of having the data be collected for the students. Who is doing this? People in detention centers are doing this. People in prisons are doing this. People on faraway islands are doing this. People off in Africa and Latin America, around the world. Probably Bangladesh may have the most, based on this shop in Dhaka, where you can go in with your USB drive and fill it up with the Khan Academy. Not just the exercises, but also the videos. Alright, so the process that will work is you're going to need two things eventually on your machine. One is going to be Python, which we're not going to go through here, but that's something you definitely want to go through, is learning how to set up a proxy server. We will do that in another video, but what you're going to do is get a hold of the most current Khan Academy. You don't want to do this every day, maybe every month, even every year. You're generally fine. You're going to do that at www.github.com/KHAN, and one day you're going to go up and look up Linus Torvalds and listen to him speak for an hour. It's a good hour when you do that. Alright, so you get to there, you're at github.com, it's going to look out there, and at this point, eventually at a later point, you're going to want to do something called getting an account here, but in this case you're just going to click to Khan exercises. The two things you'll be looking at over time are Khan exercises and Khan API. All you've got to do at this point is download this repository as a zip file. So I'm going to click that. I'm not going to necessarily click it here, but you're going to click that. It's going to bring a zip file. And now we'll get ahead to what you're going to do after you unzip that file into, and it's a whole set of directory structure, into some place on your computer or on your USB drive. You might want to do this for, as you start, just running off of a USB drive. And I don't know that I have mine here, so I'm going to do it off my machine. So what have you done? You've gone out to github.com/Khan and then clicked down to Khan exercises, and you clicked on the zip file, and then you unzipped it to someplace on your machine or on your USB. Alright, so now let's see how this works when I minimize this. Alright, the other thing you're going to want to generally do, bring this back up, is you're going to want to go out to, I'm going to go to Google here, go back, and I won't be doing this here, but you want to get a program called Notepad++ on your computer. Take my word for it. And then doubt it, and then come back to it. Notepad++, open source freeware. That doesn't do it. You can see all the emails that went out about Notepad++. That looks good to me. So you're going to get Notepad++ on your computer, open source, again. And now I'm going to minimize this. I think it won't. And I'm going to go back now into my computer. Start. In my case, I'm going to my computer. I'm going to find what it looks like once you go down underneath. And in my case, it is going to be on the C drive, way up on top. So I'm going to go to computer. Bear with me. I don't see it. Going down to the bottom here. I'm going to computer. And in my case, this is not going to be where it's going to be on your drive. I'm going to go to C, and this may explode on me. You see that I have Python and Ruby both installed on my machines. I'm going down to XAMPP. And in XAMPP, there is a place, and again, this is not where you're going to put it. I'm just going down to where I am storing Khan Academy, and you're going to install this Khan exercises. That's kind of the root level. So in Khan exercises. So that's what you'll be working in. Khan exercises then divided up into a number of other folders. You'll be using the images a lot, though Khan doesn't. Mostly, however, you'll be going down into exercises. And you now are going to see at this point the simplicity of how the Khan Academy exercise framework developed by John Ressig and Ben Kamens, what he did fixing the vision of Sal Khan to make this stuff very, very adaptable. So these are the files you'll be working in or copying using as your template. And this is, once you put something in this area here, then you'll be able to run it pretty much just like Khan Academy does, eventually even so it grabs data. You will not be able to tell the difference between a normal one and a summary one, but I'm going to give you the two easiest ones right now in terms of the coding. I think one of the most coding things would be easiest coding things, and they're ordered in no particular order. If I try to arrange them with my computer set the way it is, it's going to screw up. So I've got a hard drive issue. So I'm going to go to subtraction2.html. I'm not going to click on it, however. I'm going to open it up in a flat ASCII editor. Notepad is what I'll use on my computer, but Notepad++ is a much better thing, and you'll see why when you do it. It's the ability to grab the beginning and ending of delimiters like brackets. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to File on the side, opening Notepad. You're not seeing it. I'm going File. Now you are. File, Open. I'm going down way back to the top. Remember, you're not going to put it this deep. Computer, I'm on the C drive. I'm in XAMPP. It's kind of a pretty good program for pretending you've got a web browser on your machine. You see, this is where Moodle stuff, when you install Moodle on your machine, it's down here. We have Khan exercises here, down to exercises. And this is where many of you will get thrown, and I'll see if I can bring it up. You have to then tell these machines that you're actually looking for an HTML file. So it's in the star.star. I'll just start with adding decimals, and so you can see what that looks like. So it looks like gobbledygook for now. You'll see in a second where you would find out how to learn this stuff. You learn with the most basic exercises and some of the examples that I might provide, and then you go from there. But in this case, you've got some basic header stuff. You're telling it where to go, and then you're setting up some variables. You're doing some work, some JavaScript. This is all written in JavaScript. All right, and what you generally want to do is you want to go through the program. They'll go back and look at this and see if you can figure out what's going on. All right, that's what a standard normal exercise looks like. They can get much, much more complex than this. However, what's called a challenge or a summary or whatever, a challenge looks slightly different, and they have no different name. They actually are the same in many ways, but you're just looking for the word challenge. So here's right now, algebra challenge.html. Click on that and open it, and I'll stop and have you look at it and think, can you figure out now how to make a challenge? Yeah, that's about it. All you're doing is taking this basic file that you see here and bringing in the same format the list of exercises that you want to have as part of this mix. That's all there's to it. Now remember, capitalization is important. Dashes are important, underlines, everything's got to be exact. But once you do this, and now you run algebra challenge.html, you have made a summary document. A summary exercise that will report out and randomize within this. That is huge. Realistically, with a decent management system, especially in a class when you're dealing with learners, that if they fall off the math train now, they're probably not getting back on it for quite a while. You can really work this to your advantage alongside the standard Khan Academy to really craft what people are getting reviewed, what is being cast in front of them. I have every expectation that over the next 2 years, Khan Academy will respond with something very like, because they are very, very responsive to teachers. Right, so once again, I'm working in this in Notepad, but Notepad++ is much more powerful. Unfortunately, I can't fix my Apple, and I'm too too afraid to redo the machine to do what I'm supposed to be doing. I know, very risky, but all of a sudden you see here that you can add as many or as few as you want. And one thing I'll try over time is to actually, what would happen if you add a challenge within a challenge? Think about it. A challenge within a challenge within a challenge would be potentially a way to build a review and then build another review inside and go on and on. Do this concept of recursion. That's it. That's all you got to do. The rest of it will be covered in separate videos. This takes an ability to kind of manage files, which you're all quite capable of doing if you're out even looking at these videos, and an ability to use something called Notepad++. Ability to kind of take off your pure math head a little bit and put on your little programming head. This is then you're using the skills of HTML. There's really no JavaScript in here per se, though that's what Khan is doing to make it all work swimmingly well. That's it. We'll do some examples face-to-face, and then if you actually want to test it on a live web server to see the data come back, just contact Mr. 13 Things, who's got a fair bit of space out there and is dedicated to making the great teachers in central Wisconsin more great. Thanks for listening.